Guys, I just got kicked off the internet. Okay, so I hope everybody's not freaking out right now because I was just getting really extra super excited. I was just getting off the chain excited and then the internet kicked me off. So how sad am I right now? Sorry, guys. All of a sudden it said no internet. It kicked me off the internet. So I'm so sorry. Hi, Tanya. I was saying how excited I am for Halloween, and I've been really getting into the Halloween spirit, and I was really excited to paint this with you guys, and then the internet said I wasn't allowed to. So I'm really sorry if you were on there and you're like, what just happened? Is it me? No, it was totally me. I apologize. So make sure you guys say hi and let me know where you're painting from today. Hey, yes, Tanya, Jen, Steph, Danielle, Peggy, Heather. Yeah, so excited. I absolutely love painting. Let me know if this is your first time painting with me, and let me know where you're painting from, and let me know if you love Halloween as much as I do. Jessie's here with her mom and her kids. Yay, happy Thanksgiving, Jessie. Hi, Tara. Oh, it's lagging a lot. I'm so sorry. So guys, I live in the deep south of Essex County in Ontario, and we are just waiting so intently to get high-speed internet here. So I am so sorry if the video is a little laggy today. I wish I could control it better. Hey, Carla. Yeah, Cameron. Cool. Rachel. Yes, our Girl Scout troop is there. Awesome. Nancy's here. Valerie. Woohoo. Amy. Jody. Jesse. Guys, okay, so I'm totally getting hacked right now by some people who want you to click links. Do not click the links, okay? I just got a bunch of messages saying like all these people, they're messaging me right now. Don't click any inconspicuous links, please. I would never say click this link to join. You literally only have to show up on my page to join my party. So awesome, guys. You're killing it. Steph and Vanessa and Tara and Sherry and Kristen. And I missed a whole bunch and I'm so sorry. And I'm so excited. Yay. From New York, all these beautiful people from New York. And it's Thanksgiving in Canada today. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Whether you're in the US or in Canada, I'm very, very grateful for you to be here today. Yeah, cool. Jason, Nate, and Ian are here from LaSalle. Sweet. Oh, more Girl Scout troops. You guys are killing it. I'm like loving the Girl Scouts. Guys, I used to be a Girl Guide. I don't know. I think there's a difference between Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, but I remember that I always really wanted to be in the Scouts because it was a little more hardcore than the Guides. I really wanted to be able to explore more and get more like dirty. And Girl Guides was a little bit more fancy. So I'm really happy you guys are all here. This is so exciting. Yes, I do offer troop parties with a cost, but you can message me about that. From Corny, New York. Awesome. Oh, I feel you in the quarantine department. And Rosalie is here with her granddaughter Juliana and Lexi and Zoe from Nova Scotia. Guys, I'm so happy you're here. Yay, from Northern Ontario. Oh my goodness. So I was feeling really nostalgic today and I made myself a hot apple cider. Has anybody like gone apple picking yet or done anything fun like that with the nostalgia of the season? I want to make sure. Yeah, and Jessica, this will be available. So I'm just kind of, everything's a learning curve for me. So anytime I'm done a party, I get it downloaded and put it up on my YouTube channel. So you can subscribe at Julie's Paint Party on YouTube. And I leave all of my free videos there. Cool. Hi, Angela and Audrey from Lakeshore and Giselle in Toronto. And you picked pumpkins, Sparkles Jones, which is such a great name. Stephanie and Lucas and Jacob from Sault Ste. Marie. Guys, it's so great to see you here. I'm so excited. My heart's kind of pounding a little bit. Apple cider and donuts. If you're from the area, So I'm from Southern Ontario, Canada, and we have a place called Colasante's, and Colasante's has the best cider and donuts. Sonuts is what I wanted to say. We have the best sonuts in Essex County. It's amazing. Cool. We'll start in about 4 minutes. We're going to get started, guys, okay? So this is just the welcome wagon right now. Welcome everybody to the paint party today. Cool, guys. We got Erica and more Girl Scout troops, guys. You guys are awesome. And Brandy and Jen and Liam from Windsor and Amy from New Brunswick. Yay, happy Thanksgiving, Jason. Really great to see you. So, guys, yeah, it's been happening to a lot of people who are hosting painting online lately. Honestly, I would never ask you to click a link to join one of my free parties. You might have to join my group, or you might have to be on my Facebook page, but don't go to any external links. They're just trying to scam you, so don't do that. Yeah. Oh, really, Jesse? I have not had donuts from Colasante's yet, so I need to get on that. See, look, somebody just put that there. Like, don't click that link. That's not cool. It's not cool, guys. These are kids. We're trying to paint some spiders today. We don't want any scamming going on. Get out of here. We don't want none. So, friends, when I am getting my paint stuff together, this is how it's going to work. I'm just going to chat with you guys for a couple more minutes, but then I have my canvas set up right here. And I will be painting like this, you know, we'll get our paint on. And then every once in a while, I'll pop in like this to make sure you guys are doing good if you have any questions. And honestly, guys, I am so happy to answer questions. Please do not hesitate to stop and ask. And also let me know if my pace is good. Sometimes I can get a little fast just because I get really excited about things. So you can halt me at any time. Ask me questions. Feel free to chat. Ask me random questions. I don't care. It's all good. I just want us to have a really good time today and get festive. We're going to start the party in 2 minutes. Yay, Alicia. I'm super stoked too. So I have a paper plate here that I'm going to squirt all my paints on. I have a red Solo cup full of water, but you can use whatever you want. Grab a jar, just grab a cup that you don't mind getting dirty, that it's okay to reuse for your paint water, because once you paint today, you're going to want to paint more. So get a good jar of water going on there. And then I have a few different brushes. So we're probably going to be able to do most of it with this big brush here. So I have it's about a 3/4 inch flat brush. I always like having a nice flat nylon brush to use. And I have a 1/2 inch flat brush here too. These are I just get them at the dollar store. And then I have this long skinny brush, but any kind of detail brush is going to work too. And honestly, it's all about getting creative. This isn't a competition. This isn't, a matter of if you're doing the best job, you're better than anybody else. Painting's not about that, guys. Painting is solely about having fun and feeling good. And I find that when I'm putting paint on the canvas, I just find this really strong sense of peace and ease and happiness. All of my best ideas come to me when I'm painting. And that's what I'm truly hoping for you to tap into today. It's that peaceful goodness. It's not about it being perfect. All right. Yeah, I'm going to show you everything you need to do today, and we are going to get started right now. Cool, guys. Okay, I think I missed that while I was, Atlanta, Georgia, Sarah from Bell River, and Tina. Yay, all sorts of great things, guys. Okay. So let's get this party started. Like I said, I have my 3 main brushes here. I call this the holy trifecta of brushes, okay? So I have my flat brush, my skinny brush, and my medium brush here. It's usually what I use for most of my parties. And I do just get them at the local dollar store. So with that said, I also use my paints from the dollar store because you know what? I have really nice paints. I've used all sorts of different kinds of paints, but you don't have to buy all of these super expensive paints to enjoy painting. So that's why I just use the cheap stuff, and then we can, you know, figure out if we even like it at first, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to squirt I'm going to squirt my white, my purple, and my black on my on my palette right now. And just remember, we are painting at home, so you can always add more paints to your palette. So you don't have to have like a whole lot of paints on there, okay? You can always add more. So and I always keep my black separated from my other colors because sometimes when you're like really getting into it and you're loving what you're doing and you're painting, you don't realize, and your brush will like take a little scoop of black and not know it, and then you put it on your canvas, and then you cry because you have a big slab of black down the middle of your canvas, and that's not what we want, okay? Oh, okay. Yes, and we will be, this will be up on my YouTube page afterwards, guys. Okay, so let's get this party started. And I guess I didn't really introduce myself. Hi, everybody. I'm Julie. I've been painting for a long time, and it's literally my favoriteest thing to do in the whole world. I didn't know how amazing it felt to paint with other people until just a few years ago when I started hosting paint parties. And then when the pandemic started, I hopped online, and it's been quite amazing to see how much participation has been there. So I'm so grateful. Not only is it Thanksgiving, I'm just grateful on a daily basis for your presence here. Thank you so much for painting with me today. And let's get this party started. Yeah. Okay. Now that my excitement jitters are out there, let's start here. All right. So we're going to have to put 2 coats on our background today. And that is because there's certain paints that have different pigments. So this is what my palette looks like right now. I have some white, some purple, and some black. Purple can be very, very, very see-through, transparent. So it's probably not going to look very good the first time around. So we're going to have to just be patient. We're going to get our whole background colored. We're going to do a little mini dance party, and then we're going to do it one more time, okay? So let's not judge ourselves on the first time around. We'll judge ourselves on the second time around, okay? I'm just kidding. Don't judge yourself. All right, so I'm going to start with a little bit of white. I have my big fat brush here. I call this guy Fatty McFatterson. I'm going to take a scoop of white, and I'm just going to put this where my moon is going to be. I'm not expecting my moon to be on there perfectly right now. I'm just getting the process started. So it seems a little weird to put white on a white canvas, but this is just so that, you know, we get those jitters out a little bit. I can't tell you, I've been painting for like 25 years, and I'm always a little nervous when I start a painting, okay? So if you're feeling nervous right now, that is 100% normal. So I have a big white circle on here. I think you can see it. It's pretty subtle, but it's on there. And I'm going to start by taking a little bit of purple and I'm just going to cruise right around the outside edge of that circle. I'm going to say it's about maybe 5 or 6 inches big, my circle, okay? And again, guys, don't click any of the links that you see these scammers posting in my Facebook thing right there. I don't know what they want, but just ignore them. We can have our own fun without them ruining our time, okay? So I have a little bit of purple on my brush, and I'm just gonna take a little bit more, and okay, so I'm cruising right around that outside edge of my white circle. And then I'm just gonna start to go back and forth, and I'm gonna bring those 2 colors together. So the super secret sauce way to get really nice blends is to literally just keep going back and forth over and over and over again until the 2 colors come together. Okay, so I'm basically taking whatever purple I had on the outside there, And I'm just going back and forth with my brush, and I'm circling inwards towards the center of the white circle that I already made. And it's not going to be white anymore. It's going to be like a really light purple in the center, and that's perfect. Another secret sauce tip for painting is, for example, my brush feels really draggy right now. It almost feels hard to move. Sometimes when our paint starts to dry up a little bit, it makes it like almost like gluey, kind of sticky, trying to move my brush around. So whenever that happens, I take my brush, I give it a little dip in my cup, and then I give it a little tap on my palette. So just putting that little bit of water on my brush, and always tap on your palette first. It's just going to loosen up the paint on my brush, and it makes my brush, it just feels so much easier now to move my brush back and forth. And I'm just gently moving it. So once I feel like that purple has blended in with my white enough, which means that I've gone over and over and over again with my brush, just circling out. Then I'm going to go back to the edge of my circle, and I'm going to add more purple. So I'm going to grab some purple. And I still have little remnants of white on my brush, but I don't really worry about it because it's really great when you get some nice streakies in the sky. But like I said, this is our practice round anyways. So we're going to give our background 2 coats of paint. So I'm just going to keep working my way out. And it gets a little bit darker and a little bit darker because the more we go out, it's going to be just more purple and you're going to have less white on your brush. Now, whenever I'm kind of going around the circle like this, every once in a while, I'll just give my brush like a little push, and you get some of that excess white out of the get-go there. But I do really like to have a streaky sky, so I'm just gonna, oh man, I hope you guys are in shape. My arm is on fire right now doing this round and round and round. So I do really love streaky skies. So every once in a while when I put a nice glob of purple on there, and you can see I'm trying to make nice, very nice long strokes. So I'll go as far as I can one way, back and forth, and then I'll go all the way the other way. So whenever we make nice long brush strokes, it kind of, you don't get these like weird little brush strokey marks in there. And I always tell my peeps, please, if you feel like making weird noises, just go for it. I often make shooshing noises, so if that calms you or makes you feel better, just go for it. I'm not going to judge. I love making weird noises, so shoo, shoo, or sometimes it's like zhoo, zhoo, kind of sounds like a lightsaber or something. So I'm just continuing to work out. I'm just going to fill my whole canvas up, and like I said, every once in a while I'll take a little scoop of white. See I got a little corner of white there. And I just mix it in. And I'm definitely going to have to add some more purple on there onto my palette. Just work it out. Keep going in a big fat circle. And then I'm going to add some more paint to my palette because I'm using quite a bit right now. And work those arm muscles. So a little bit of purple, and every once in a while I'll take a little scoop of white and I'll just swoosh it in there. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. And then, like I said before, guys, it's always the same rules, okay? If your paintbrush is feeling draggy or laggy, just add a tiny little bit of water to it, do a little tap on your palette, and then just keep going. And then when you add a little bit of white in there, the more you go back and forth, the more the colors will come together. So it's really about stamina. How many times can you stand going back and forth? Hopefully a lot. So I'm just filling up this whole bottom space with purple and a little bit of white. I'll swoosh in there. And you can see I still have some open areas that are, you can still see some canvas kind of poking through there, and that's all right. I'm just trying to fill this up the best I can. I can feel that my brush needs a little bit more water. So I'm just gonna grab that, fill it up. Now, if you're using a small canvas, you might already be done. And there's, we really want our background to be dry before we do another coat here. So I have two suggestions. Let me just fill in these little spots first. Fill it in, fill it in, fill it in. Yes, thank you, Amy. Yeah, they keep adding those links in, and it's not fun because I don't like people trying to scam my people. So don't click on any links that you see in, unless they're posted by Julie's Paint Party, okay? But even then, don't even bother. Anything you need to know, you can message me directly or just tag me in your posts and you're good to go, okay? So, okay, my canvas is full. So like I said, as our whole canvas dries, we're just gonna, it doesn't take very long. Two ways you can do it. You can run and grab a hair dryer and do like a zzz and dry up your painting. Or another way is to give your brush a really good rinse. So I have my napkin here. You give your brush a good rinse and then give your brush a good dry. Okay, so just dry it off with your napkin really good. You can start from the top and with just a dry brush, you can start to move around the paint a little bit. So just to make sure that there's no extra globs and you're kind of just doing those same motions, but you're moving the paint around so it actually helps the paint dry up a little bit faster. Hair dryer works. I'm just using a really dry brush right now with no paint on it and just moving that paint around so that it dries up a little bit faster. And then once I'm done moving that paint around, because when you're done this painting and you want to hang it on your living room wall or your bedroom wall or maybe your bedroom door or maybe even on your closet, right, Angela? Why do scammers have to ruin a nice thing? Seriously, you know, how about we send them some collective love and maybe they'll just go away. You know, we'll just be like, you know what, guys? We see you. We hear you. We're not going to jam with your scam. Peace out. Okay? Scammers. Ugh. But anyways, like I was saying, once we move that paint around, maybe you can grab a hair dryer and dry up. It should only take a couple minutes while we're waiting for that to dry. Because you're going to want to hang it on your living room wall, you're going to want to paint the sides of your painting. Okay? So, don't press any scammer buttons and they can go away. I feel like I tried to block them, but there's too many of them, Jen. Unfortunately, I was trying to delete all the things and block them, and I blocked a lot, but I think there's a big posse of them, so yeah. See, look, they just keep on ruining everything. Just ignore them. It's fine. I'm here. I can see your comments. Even if they're still popping in, they can just go away. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to put some purple all around the outside edges of my canvas. Now, this is just to like kill time. You can do this at any time. It doesn't have to be right now. And obviously, if you're using paper or some sort of board, canvas board or wood or something, you might not want to paint the sides of your canvas. But it's a really good way to pass the time while we just let the front of our canvas dry. And you can also blow. Just don't pass out if you blow too hard. Don't pass out while you're blowing on your painting. That's why it's way more efficient to use a hairdryer. I can like see all the little kids blowing on their painting right now. And then you won't spit on your painting either like I just did. Now, I'm really curious, what is everybody being for Halloween this year? Let me know in the comments. What's going on in your house? Are you guys even trick-or-treating? Are you going to go house to house, or are you going to have a fun party at home? What are you up to this year? We have decided that we're going to stick to our neighborhood. So we live in a rural neighborhood, and we're just going to leave bags of candy out in the front for any kids to pick up if they want to stop by, just so we can keep our distance. And I've decided, I saw a really fun thing on Facebook, where they fill rubber gloves full of candy, and then they look kind of like severed hands. Susan, you're so funny. But yeah, I'm going to make candy hands, and then I'm going to dip them in red paint so they look really scary, and then I'm going to attach them to the tree so the kids can grab their hands off the tree. Why, Yoshi, that's so fun. Ooh, Hocus Pocus. And Jasmine, nice. Oh, I tried to get my daughter Story to watch Hocus Pocus yesterday. She's like, Mom, she's 4. I'm not ready for this. Mom, I don't think I'm ready for this. And I love scary stuff. I'm just trying to condition her early, but I guess it's not happening. Ooh, Harley Quinn's a good one. Michelle's having a party. Maleficent, that's a sweet costume. Carmen Sandiego, that is a sweet costume too. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Let me tell you a fun tale while we wait. Here, I'm just going to check. Okay, just a couple more minutes. So I used to have a recurring nightmare when I was a kid. I think from between the ages of maybe like 7 and 10 years old. I used to dream that Carmen Sandiego would come to my house, and she would steal all the yucca plants out of our yard. And yuccas are like a weird, they're like a green plant, and they have long leaves, and they have one big flower that that pop up the center of them. What? Jenny Mike Wazowski, that's a good one. And a unicorn and an M&M. Awesome. So yeah, I don't know why I used to dream that, but there was like a lady in a red hat, and she used to come and steal all of our yucca plants, and I would wake up and just be like, why? Why am I dreaming these things for like 4 years? Wonder Woman, zombie cheerleader, that's a good one. I love zombies. Yes, Wednesday from the Addams Family. One from Birds of Prey. Ooh, what is that? Batman. My husband went as Fat Batman one year, and it was just ironic and funny because my husband's very skinny. So he gave himself a big tummy and went as Batman. It was pretty funny. Okay, guys, so I'm just feeling this out. I'm going to give us 2 more minutes. Let me know if a few more costumes. I think my daughter's going to go as Gwen Stacy Spider-Girl. And I don't know. I'm probably going to end up being some sort of zombie because I just really like making yucky zombie makeup. Ooh, M&M and a unicorn. And a friend is a fox. Perfect. I love foxes. Enderman from Minecraft. Sweet. I'm not in the Minecraft world yet, but that sounds awesome. What? Ninja Turtles? Yes. I love the blast from the past. That's so good. Okay, guys, now I'm all hopped up. So, you know what we're going to do? Exactly what we already did. Oh, Cohen Chappie, Carlos. Oh, cool. You're going to be a chef? That's cool. Minecraft, I know, is huge. The whole family's doing Ghostbusters? Yes. Cheetah Girls? Yes. Scammer? No. Panda? Yes. Harry Potter? Amazing. Oh, I love all the witch and witchcraft stuff. Pac-Man. That's awesome. Yay. A dragon ninja, mad scientist, and an archer. Ooh, like Hawkeye? Miss Pac-Man. Okay. That makes more sense. I would thought you were just caveman to me. Me, Pac-Man. No, Miss Pac-Man. Got it. Evie from the Descendants. That sounds amazing. Zombies and werewolves. Ooh. Guys, I love this. A whole family of Victoria vampires. Yes. All right. Thanks for the updates, guys. I might have to ask again because it's so fun knowing. 2 Power Rangers and a clown. Terrifying. I'm already afraid. Okay, so I'm just going to load up my palette with a little bit more white and a little bit more purple just so I have enough to give her this time. So we're going to repeat exactly what we did before. We're going to start with a nice white circle, but next time we're going to swirl a little bit more white in with our background. And then at the end, we're going to add a little bit of black in there. Ooh, oh yeah, cool. Coraline's so cool. Ashley, if you don't need another coat of purple, that's amazing. So just wait 2 more minutes because it takes a lot. It's a lot faster the second time around. Okay. Ooh, une femme chat noir. That sounds awesome. Okay, so let's do this one more time. We'll keep it quick. So the next time around, I'm going to add a little bit of water to my brush. So I have dipped my brush in my water, and I'm just going to add that water right on the side of my white paint here. Get it kind of swished in there a little bit. And let's start back in the middle with a little bit of white. And you can see, maybe you can't see too well, but the white, because I added a little bit of water in with it, is a little bit more liquidy this time. So just be careful of any drips. If you get a drip, just grab it right away, okay? So I'm going to give her out. If you don't need to do this right now, maybe just go back over your painting and just add a few extra little swishes in your sky, okay? You can always add a little extra, just for some extra vibes and some extra expression. It's always nice to put expressive brushstroke marks in our painting. So once my purple circle's on there, purple circle, I'm going to go back around with my purple, and I'm just gently cruising along that edge of my white, and I'm going to go back and forth just like this. So you can see I'm going back and forth, right along that line, and those 2 colors, the more I go back and forth, come together so, so nice. All right. So you can see there's a lot more of a blend the second time around. And I don't have to keep working my way all the way to the center this time. So I can, don't get me wrong, you can absolutely keep working that purple until you feel like it's blended enough towards the center of your painting. But then I'm going to use some of that white and the purple, and as I make these brush stroke marks out, I just keep gently bringing my brush back and forth all the way around. And I'm really going to let some white streaks shine through this time. So take a little bit of purple, swoosh, take a little bit of white, swoosh, and I'll bring those 2 colors together and you get these really cool streakies. Then a little bit of purple, swoosh, 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 a little bit of white, swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. And check that out, you get these really cool streaky purple marks. It really lightens up and vibes up the painting. Oh man, my arm's on fire. I need to work out a little bit more, friends. Okay, and I'm going to do that all around the circle. So I'm just trying to stay in alignment with my circle as much as I can. You know, it doesn't always work out that way, and that's perfectly fine, okay? But the secret or the special part about doing the painting and finding this flow around the circle is really, you can get kind of lost, and it just feels really good to get lost sometimes. So just try and don't struggle with this part. Just keep working your arm back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Put a little purple, add a little white, get some nice streaks in there. And then you get this beautiful glowing moon. Okay. And you get to really play around with the two colors coming together. So you have some nice dark purple spots, and you have some nice light purple spots. And I just back and forth, around and around. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. There she goes, the wedding singer. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So now that we have this couple coats on, I'm really feeling that drag in my brush. I can feel like it's almost hard to move it back and forth. And please note that once I start to get down to the bottom, I'm going all the way from one side, all the way to the other. And then I don't get any weird little brush stroke marks. I can dip my brush in my water, give it a little tap on my palette. It loosens it up a little bit, and I can keep on working my brush strokes there. Okay, so let's keep going. So once we get down to the bottom here, I'm just gonna add, so almost all the way down to the bottom. So I'm gonna leave like maybe just a couple inches right at the bottom of my canvas, okay? Right down here. And then I'm just gonna add the tiny, tiny, tiny littlest bit of black, just a little bit. So I'm gonna take a little tiny corner of black, maybe not even that much, just a tiny little bit of it. Black takes over everything, so I always use it sparingly, all right? And right down in this corner, right starting in the actual corner, I'm just gonna start to swiggle in a little bit of black, just a little bit, and then I'm gonna gently bring that black and purple together. So as soon as I hit my purple paint, I'm just gonna swoop back and forth a whole bunch of times. Back and forth, back and forth. I'm gonna let the two colors come together. So I'm using my secret sauce method to get colors to blend. Just keep going back and forth until the colors come together. And then I'm gonna do it on the other side as well. So tiny little corner of paint. I'm gonna start in the very bottom corner. Just right in the bottom. And then I'm gonna bring it up into my purple. And I'm gonna let those two colors come together. And then once they're kind of get together, I'm just gonna give it a couple swoops right along the bottom edge there. So you get a really nice blend. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right. There we go. Our background is complete. So give me a thumbs up when you feel, ooh, I just hit my thing. Give me a thumbs up when you feel like you are done your background. And we can start making our spider. So it's obviously backwards on the thing, so you're gonna have to write boo the right way, not the backwards way, okay? Oh, what's Nancy saying? I'm not Ashley, I'm her daughter. Oh, hi Nova. What a great name. Nova's an awesome name. Your mom picked a great name for you. Nancy says, thanks for doing this. We're still on West Coast, so my daughter's still online for school, but we'll watch and do this. Perfect. Do it together later. That's awesome. Yep. It's so hard to know these days. I've run into an issue where people will ask me to host a party for them, so I often do private paint parties virtually like this. We do them on Zoom, and I'll book a time, and then I forget. I'm just so not used to it. I forget to ask where they are. So several times I've had West Coasters and they're like, oh, I want to paint at 7 o'clock. I was like, done. I got it in my calendar. I send them the Zoom link and they're like, oh, this says 4 o'clock our time, but it's 7 o'clock. And then I'm like, oh, right, because you live 3-hour difference for me. And now I have to paint at 10 o'clock, which is so late for me. I can't stay up till 10, but I do anyways. And it's still okay. I just take a nap during the day. Naps are life. Cool, Tanya. Just keep finishing up the background. We'll give you guys a few minutes to catch up. Just keep working those arm muscles. Working good. All right. But we got a thumbs up from Audrey and Joanne and Jenny. Perfect. These guys are done. Give me a few more thumbs ups. And I'll just go over what we're going to do next. So our next step on this painting is we're actually going to paint the spider first. And then we're going to do our tree. And then we're going to connect our thing later, and then we'll put the moon on before we do the tree. But we are going to start with the spider first, just so that it has a lot of time to dry, and then we can put our really fun eyeballs on there. And I really hope you have a good time putting the eyeballs on, because I like it when people do their own thing. Just remember that. This is your painting. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. It's like yours, 100%. So I can show you a few things and stuff, but I want you to take the reins and make it your own, okay? Oh, Maddie's done. Katie's done. Sparkles is thumbs up in me. Perfect. Warm cider definitely warms the soul. Okay. So just make sure you have some black on your palette. And you can use your big brush for the spider, or you can move down a notch to your to like a smaller brush if you want. So just let me know, or just, you don't have to let me know what brush you're using. Just remember, just use whatever brush that you're the most comfortable with. You can look at me using a brush, but if it's not vibing with you, just try a different one. It's okay. You can totally switch it out at any time you want, okay? So let's try this. My painting is still wet. But the great part about doing silhouetted paintings is that black covers everything. So I'm going to be able to put this spider on here, and even if it might pick up some of the background colors, it'll be really easy to give it a little extra coat just so that it's nice and solid black on there. Okay? Ooh, or maybe you want to keep those colors in there. It's up to you. All right? So our spider's going to be right in, it's not quite in the middle, it's just enough under the moon. So right in the center here, right in this area. And we're going to start by making an oval. And like I said, I'm going to use my big brush to start and go from there. And I'll see if it works for me. You know what? And like I said, if it doesn't work, I can just switch it out. It's not a big deal. So starting with my big fat brush, okay? I'm going to just load it up with some black. And I'm going to make an oval. I might even add a dip of water into my black, okay? So if you want to give your brush a little dip in your water, then dip it in your black. I just feel like because we're using acrylics, when you add that little tiny little bit of water into your paint, it loosens it up a little bit, and it also helps fill in any canvas holes, or it just makes it go on so much smoother onto your canvas, okay? So pick where your spider's gonna live and make an oval. So I'm just going to go straight on here and one way. Other way. And I'm going to fill it in. So another awesome thing about doing silhouetted paintings is that you could start really small and you can always make your characters bigger. So if you start big, it's a little bit harder to make it smaller. Actually, it might be a lot harder to make it smaller. So it's always really smart to start small and get bigger. And this is your spider, so make them whatever shape you want. If you want them to be a little bit skinnier, you can make them a little shorter in the body. If you want them to be a nice big fat spider, you can make them nice and plump and round. But I'm just gently bringing my brush around that circle. And I generally use like the side of my brush. So when I'm cruising along my lines here, I'm just grazing with the side of my brush to make sure the lines are nice and straight and even as much as possible. You know, it doesn't always work out that way, but I like to try. And my paint is pretty thick on there, so that's why it's nice to do the spider first, so then it gives it a little bit of extra time to dry. Now, our spider's got some crazy hair too, so feel free to move down a notch on your brush size, so you can go get a smaller brush to do the hair, or just keep using your big brush and just use the side of it. So often I'll take my brush, and I got my palette here, and I just push my brush back and forth so that when I'm looking at it from the side, it's nice and thin, so it's nice and sharp. And you can just go ahead and give your spider whatever kind of crazy hair he wants. So this guy's gonna have a few little spikies cruising around here. And I'm gonna fill them all in. You could give him like a mohawk. You could give him a little afro curly hair. You can give him less hair. Honestly, I really would like you to give him whatever kind of hair you want him to have. What kind of hair does your hairy spider have? Clown hair? Oh, that would be funny. Clown hair is hilarious. And I'm doing mine a little bit different from the original just because I like to do things different. It's, you know, I'm not the same person I was when I painted this several years ago. So I'm just gonna enjoy the process and get creative and give my guy or girl, maybe it's a girl, whatever kind of crazy hair I feel like he needs today. Yeah, maybe one more little spike out the side here. And there. And I'm just kind of moving. You can see I'm kind of grazing my brush around so that I'm not leaving any weird brush stroke marks. I just kind of pet my brush around to make everything look a little bit even, kinda. So once I have my hair on my spider, I'm gonna go ahead and go grab my skinny brush. So you don't have to necessarily have a long skinny brush like this. You can absolutely use a flat brush as well. Sometimes I like, I'll dip my brush in my water and I just take my fingers and I smoosh it. So when I'm smooshing my brush like this, when I look at it from the side, you can see it's really flat and sharp, and that really allows me to make nice thinner lines. So you'll be able to kind of cruise out from the sides and make his legs for him. Or you can do like I'm doing and grab a long skinny brush, dip it in your water cup, then put it in your black paint. Okay, nice and full. Fill it up, buttercup. And then decide where his legs are gonna go. So spiders have 8 legs. This guy's gonna have one here. And they can go in whatever crazy direction you want. They can be super duper long. He can have little feetsies. He could not have feet. Oh man, there's too many options, let me tell you. So I'm gonna start with 3 out on each side. And then And then I'm going to give them two little guys in the center. So one here, me, and here. And I'm just going to make them a little more pointy. So just get it nice and pointy there. Okay, so maybe if I can get it to a point, I'm having an issue getting it to a point. So just, yeah, if it has to make his legs a little longer, so be it. All good. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it right now, but because my black picked up some of the white and purple that I had in the background, he looks a little gray. And my honest to first instinct is to go back and give him another coat right away, but I have a lot of paint on there. So that's just something that you need to come to terms with. We need to let this guy dry, and I'm going to want to put on his eyes. Once he's dry, I'm going to want to put on his eyes before I give him another coat of paint. Okay? So hopefully by the time we're finished putting the tree on and our moon and all that good stuff, we can have a nice dry spider. We'll put on his eyes, and then you can fix up the in-between, or myself, I could fix up the in-between spots with a little extra black. So that's what I'm going to hope for. If not, you can take a hair dryer, or like I said, just blow really hard and don't pass out. And that should be good too. Now, I'm kind of realizing as I'm doing this, I want to put a moon right in the middle here, and I feel like there's not, I feel like I left this a little too white. So I'm just going to go ahead and just fill this in with a little bit of extra, just a little extra purple. So I got a little mixture of white and purple on my brush, and I'm just going to darken this area a little bit because I feel like when I put my moon on there, it's just not going to show up at all, which isn't a good thing. So I'm just going to darken that up a little bit. If yours is already purple, that's awesome. You are better than I am. All right. But we are going to put a circle on there, and if you feel confident, you can absolutely put the circle on yourself without any help. Oh, Vanessa, yours doesn't need another coat. That's so sweet. That's really great to hear. I'm glad. And you can make your moon with just your paintbrush, okay? Or you can grab a circular object. So you could use the bottom of your paint can, trace it with a pencil, maybe even the bottom of a cup or something. But I have to say, I feel confident that you can do this on your own with just a paintbrush. All right, so let's do it. Let's make a circle, and let's not put too much pressure on ourselves to make it look like the most perfect circle ever. We're just going to do the best we can. So I have my big fat brush here, and I'm loading it up with some white. Okay, got some nice white paint on there. I'm going to put my brush straight, but the one corner is going to be right in the middle of my circle here. So my brush is going on the canvas super duper flat. And then I'm going to push, and I'm going to turn my brush in a circle. And I'm going to try and keep that center point the best I can. And then I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to push, and I'm going to pull around my brush. And I'm just going to try and connect the other side. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I'm happy with the size of my moon. So just using the side of my brush, I kind of cruise back and forth until my moon is relatively circle and the size that I want it to be. So it's really up to you. You can make a nice big moon. You could make a medium-sized moon. It is all up to you. I always tell people, you know, it doesn't really matter what the size of the moon is. You can make it as big as you want, but there is a sweet spot. So if you feel happy with the shape of your moon and maybe it's a little bit smaller than you want it to be, just stop, okay? Just stop when you're ahead, because there's something, there's always like this magical spot where you're like, oh, it looks like a circle. If that's the sentiment that you have, put your brush down, because then there's the ego part of us that wants to just keep making that circle bigger and bigger, and that leaves a lot more room for error, okay? Oh, Vanessa, that's sweet. I'm glad you love this. I love this too. It's my favorite time ever. All right. Now, if you're feeling really fancy, you don't have to do it, but you can always take, I don't even know if I want to do it. No, I'm not going to. But I was going to say you can take your brush and kind of swoosh around a few extra little, a little extra moon glow around if you want. You could put a few little extra streakies in the sky. But honestly, you don't have to do that. It's all up to you. And I started to, so now I have to finish. Now I have to finish going around because I couldn't help myself. Okay, there we go. All right, now we got some moonshine there. Oh, moonshine, haha. Okay. So once all of those elements are on, we're gonna start our tree. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you're ready to make the tree on the side, please? Liz, painting is awesome. It's the best. How's your moon? How's that moon? Can you believe that Halloween is going to have a full moon, and it's a full blue moon, and it's daylight savings time? I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Monster Squad, but I'm just telling you, maybe we should be a little bit on the lookout for some werewolves and maybe even Dracula on that day, right? Oh, Riley, painting is awesome. Thanks. I keep forgetting Facebook is not a place where kids hang out. So, oh no, I get an angry face. Don't make an angry face. All right, we got some thumbs up. Everybody's ready. Oh, okay, Vanessa. We can keep going. I believe in you guys. Okay, good thumbs up, Ins. I love it. Ooh, Andrea put a bow tie on her spider because she's super creative. I love it. Okay, so we're just going to start at the top with some black paint, and we're going to pull our brush all the way down to the bottom and make a tree. Okay, so I got my big fat brush here. I'm going to grab a whole glob of paint. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to cruise all the way down the side of my painting. So if you make one straight line, then you can start to fix it up on the sides. So my tree can kind of bow out the side here where the trunk gets a little bigger at the top and also at the bottom. I always like to start a little smaller so then I can always make it bigger. Just always remember that rule when you're painting. It's way easier to make things bigger than it is to make things smaller. So starting small is a really good idea, especially if you're a beginner or just like trying something out for the first time. Okay? Does our moon have to be a circle because mine looks like an odd shaped? Nope, sparkles. You can have the oddest shaped moon that you want. It's all good. It can be oblong. Oblong moon. Okay, so we have two parts where our branches come out from the side, and I'm going to start with our bottom one. So maybe I'm going to make this guy a little bit fatter here. I'm going to give this tree a little bit more girth. I'm going to girth him up a little. Okay, now I'm going to load up my brush, and I'm going to cruise underneath. So check this out. I'm just starting straight on my canvas here. I'm going to pull down and under my spider. But as I get to the end of my branch, I'll do that again. As I get to the end of my branch, I'm going to start to turn my brush on its side. As it gets skinnier, I'm going to pull up around my spider, and I'm just gonna let my last little brush bristle is just the last thing it's gonna touch is ding, and I kind of flick off the end. So it's the old push, twist, and turn. Okay. So I'm gonna do it again. So I push my brush, I keep it fat, and then as I'm cruising along, I turn it on its side, and then I'm gonna make a branch, and the last bristle to touch my canvas is that last little bristle there, and I'm gonna swing and make a little branch there. Swing. Now you can also use a smaller brush to do the branches, and I suggest using a smaller brush if you need to. I'm just gonna make this guy a little bit bigger over here. Okay, cruise up. But just to show you, it is really nice to use a skinny brush as well. So just grabbing my long skinny brush, and I'm gonna load it up with some black paint, and I'm gonna, you can make littler branches with this guy here. So just, you know, coming off the side of this branch, I can come up and I can make some little guys just poking up. And whenever I'm making branches, I'm really just using the very tippy top of my brush. I'm barely even pushing, just letting it graze a little bit. And I usually just give my brush a little bit of wiggle when I'm making a branch. So as I'm pulling up, I'll kind of wiggle it around, and I fling off the top, fling, really lightly. I'm barely even touching the canvas. I try and be really light about it. Now, don't worry, if your branches are thicker than mine, that's totally normal. I make branches all day, every day, so I have a little bit more practice in making them really small, so don't worry about it, okay? If your branches are a little thicker than mine, that's absolutely perfect. And then I'm gonna do the one up at the top. Now, I'm just gonna keep using my long skinny brush, but like I said before, just use whatever brush you're most comfortable with, okay? And then I'm gonna pull to the side and just keep making a little branch, and it's gonna end up in the moon glow a little bit. And like I keep saying over and over again, guys, you know, this is your painting. So just make whatever shape branches you want. They don't have to look exactly like mine. They can be thick, they can be gnarly, they can be super skinny. Whatever kind of branch you want to make is absolutely perfect, okay? And you can see I like to kind of bring it close to the moon, then it really gives a nice perspective. I think I need more black paint on the palette because I need to make this branch a little bit thicker so that it has a nice spider web on it. Okay. So I'm going to thicken up my branch here. And you can see even using my long skinny brush, I can make a nice thick branch. So it's really in how you use your brushes. It's all good. And I'm going to make one more coming down this way so that I have a nice place to connect a spider web. Wiggle it just a little bit. I want to see you wiggle it. Susan knows me so well. Just a little bit. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. All right, guys, we're really coming along here. Now, just remember, our Spidey needs a little place to hang from too, okay? So I'm going to have him hang from this branch here. And I'm just going to do that right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my long skinny brush. I'm loading it up with paint. And I'm going to decide where his little spider web is because Ashley says, or was that Nova? Nova says, mine looks like a spider's on the branch. Perfect. That's okay. I'm going to give this guy a couple little feet here. He's like so close to my branch. He's like, oh, I'm almost there. I'm just gonna get there real quick. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make a line all the way from my branch down into my spider. And you could do this either way. You can go up, from the spider up or from the branch down, but I'm gonna do a branch down situation today. So, there he is. He is hanging from his branch. I want to see you wiggle it just a little bit. Come on, come on, come on. All right, now my spider is still drying up a little bit. So once that you have that nice long line down there, I'm gonna start to build my spider web in the corner of my branch here. Okay, so this might be more of the trickier thing in this painting. So just take your time. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can use a medium or a long skinny brush, or detail brush, whatever you want to use. Excuse me, whatever you want to use to make this happen is perfect. Now, you used gray. Of course that's okay that you used gray. That's awesome that you used gray, actually. So we're gonna make a spider web right in this corner here, and I like to start with the biggest part of the spider web. So what we can actually do, I'm not gonna start with the biggest part of the spider web. I'm gonna make some lines out to decide where my spider web is gonna be. So I'm gonna make 3 long lines, and then we're gonna connect those lines with the web. So the center of my web is gonna start right here. And I'm just going to cruise right in alignment with that tree. Right along the tree. It's like almost the same direction there. I'm going to put one line there. This one's going to come out a little bit further, so I'm just pull, 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 pull till there. A troll's name is Branch. Branch is like kind of my favorite character in Trolls. We listen to a lot of Trolls in our house here. And then I'm going to make one more line here. We're really into Trolls World Tour right now. And I have that soundtrack in my head way more than I'd like to admit. Yes, Ashley, you can make the web white for sure. Sorry, Nova. I'm pretty sure I'm talking to Nova. I apologize if I forget, okay? So we have those 3, and then I'm going to make one more little guy just popping out. He's going to connect to the tree over here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 places where my spider web is going to live. And they're just popping out the side over here. You know what? I can even get in a little bit closer just so you can see a little bit better here. And then I'm going to connect all of these lines with a little curvy line. So starting up here, I'm going to, I just want you to note that I have my pinky finger on my canvas. It's dry now, so it's okay. But I like to have an anchor for my hand. If you need to like put your hand on your canvas, I have my finger down. It helps me keep my hand steady. Do whatever it takes to keep your hand steady when you do these kinds of things. I don't expect to like get a nice line, and I feel a little shaky when I'm not connected to my canvas. So I put my pinky finger down, and then I can start to make little curvy lines connecting each one of these longer lines that I made here. Yeah, Trolls 2 is really sweet. We often sing Trolls Just Want to Have Fun. I mean, I love the 80s throwback to the song, but my daughter only lets me sing the branch parts. And I try and get really into it, but then she doesn't like it when I really like to get into it. I really love singing, and my daughter's 4 and she really doesn't like it when I sing. It's like the saddest thing ever, but I still push her. I still sing at the top of my lungs and I make her like it. Okay, Nova, I got it. Yeah, my favorite in that song is like, lived underground to get away from the world till I had my life changed by a beautiful girl. Just need the guts to tell her that she is the one, but you know, trolls, they wanna have fun. Right? That's the branch part. So I'm allowed to sing that part, and that's the only part that I'm allowed to sing. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've connected each one of these lines, and then I'm going to do it again and again. So I'm making little curves so they're right in alignment with my other ones. And I just keep connecting them there the best that I can. And I'm going to make one more set of these guys. So here we go. Shoop, shoop, shoop. And I just keep going till there's no space anymore. Shoop. And one little shoop. Okay. Whew. Lucas and Jacob wanted to tell you that they are going to be blue and a red ninja for Halloween. They also love arts and crafts. Thanks for doing this today. Oh, no problem, Steph. Thanks, Lucas and Jacob, for chiming in. That's awesome. And Joanne, do yourself a favor and watch Trolls 2 because it's pretty sweet, I have to say. I'm a big music fan, and I'm also a recovering heavy metal fan. So there's a lot of really great Ozzy Osbourne tunes in the movie that I really appreciate, like Crazy Train. And then they also sing like a Scorpion song, Rock You Like a Hurricane. That's my jam, so I'm always happy to watch movies that have the music that I love in them. And all the great pop tunes too. Okay, so I'm gonna do just one more small little web right in this corner up here, okay? So I'm gonna make a couple little more lines, and then I'm going to connect those lines just like I did on the one right there. Just making little spots. So this is where our spider web is coming from. Maybe even one more here. So that it looks like he's connected to his little spider web up at the top there. Yeah, we can totally do the eyes now. So I really want you guys to embrace whatever kind of eyes you want. We're almost done here, okay? And you can use whatever brush you want. So I'm just gonna, because my thing's not dry yet, I'm just gonna wipe some of that excess paint off. Just so that I can put a nice clean eye on there. Now, I am a big fan of one big eye, one small eye. But this guy has 2 of the same small eyes. I just really want you guys to make whatever kind of eyes that you want. Okay. So I'm going to grab my medium flat brush. I'm loading it with some white paint. And I'm just going to go ahead and make 2 circles. So I'm going to make one right here. There we go. And I'm going to make another one right here. Right. Now, your eyes can be, you can make them any color you want, really. They can be white or red might not show up very well, but maybe blue or green would be sweet. And I'm just making 2 little circles. And my spider's not dry yet because I put too much paint on my canvas. So I need to really load up the white on there. And I try and use my brush so that it kind of brings any brush strokes around and it gets rid of any little small weird brush strokes. Oh, sorry. We're really close to being done here. So if you still need to finish up later, we are just going to put a little bit of green around his hair, and we're going to write boo in the sky and that. And we can put some highlights on the tree, but we're almost there. And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to give him two little eyes. So you can make his pupils big or small too. Like, it's totally up to you, okay? You can even, if you want to do like one big one and one small one, that's cool too. So two little eyes. So guys, if you can't stick around the whole time, just when you're done your painting, I would just love you to post it on my page or send me a message with your finished pieces in it. I love seeing them later. And if you're taking a picture with your painting, I don't want to just see your painting. I want to see your face too. So make sure you have your face in with it. Okay. Because then I'm like, oh, that's the kid who made it. I love it. Don't worry, it's all good. You know what? I mistype all the time, so it's okay. Okay, so I'm not gonna get a chance to give my my spider a second coat, so I'm just gonna leave him for now. And I'm gonna squirt a little bit of green onto my palette. So I have this little bit of leafy green here, okay? Oh, there he is. There it is right there. And I like to take my long skinny brush and just along his hair, I can give him little highlights. So I just put them on one side. Wherever the moon is shining, I like to put it on that side. So if the moonlight is hitting this side, I put it on that side. So it'll switch when I get to this side here. So this guy is going to have a little bit on both sides. That's a lighting tip. So whenever you're doing like any kind of highlights, I always think to myself, would the moon be shining there? Okay? So here we go. Wherever the tops of his little hairs are, that's where the moon is shining. And you can do this in green or white. What I'm going to do is just take that brush, fill it up with some white or green, and right along the edge of my tree, I'm going to give it a little highlight over here. So this is optional. You don't have to do this. It's all in your comfort level, okay? But I can give my tree a little bit of a highlight on this side. And along the bottom of my branch here too. And underneath here, whenever I'm making any kind of detail lines, I always put a little bit of water in my paint. It really helps extend and make nice longer lines. And then you can put some lines along your spider web too. If you feel like the moon would be shining on your spider web, put a couple little highlights in there too. And then maybe underneath these branches here. You can also do this in green as well. If you feel like you want to get a little bit more spooky with it, you could use a little bit of green to highlight some of these areas. But just on the side of my web stuff, that's where I'm going. Anywhere where I feel the moonlight would be hitting my tree or my spider, that is where I will put my highlights. So at the end of any paintings, I always say take a step back and see how you can make it your own or make it any better than what I've showed you here. So for myself, I would probably give him another coat in his eyes and another, coat in his body because mine is a little bit more gray, but I'm not sure that transpires onto the screen, so that's cool. And then the very, very last thing you got to do is sign it. So put your initials on it. I usually like to sign in the bottom little corner. And that, I think, is it. Just find any way to make it your own. I just have to say thank you so much for showing up to paint with me today, guys. You are truly the best. Thank you for staying active with me. And I think that's it. So here's the final thing. Oh yeah, we didn't put boo. So that's an option too. I'm not going to do it today. You can write boo right on the side of the papers or on the canvas, just like I did here. But because it's backwards, I don't want to get anybody to get confused. Yeah, definitely do your boo later. Okay, yeah, sounds good, Nova. Or no, it's not Nova. I'm so confused who's who right now. Anyways, guys, so I just want to tell you a few things before you pop out of here. Just remember, you can go to juliespaintparty.com. You could go to /coloring book, and you can download some free coloring pages there. Or I have a link on that page to actually buy the coloring book that I made. And I also came out with a kid's book. It's an ABC adventure, and I'm going to be doing some classes based on that soon too. So if you look up Project Monsters Alphabet Adventure. Here, I'll put the link in here. I'll put it in the chat. Project Monsters Alphabet Adventure. It's on Amazon by Julie Robinson. I spelled adventure wrong. There we go. So, here it is. Project Monsters Alphabet Adventure by Julie Robinson. If you look that up on Amazon, I'm selling copies now. And then that's so great. Damien's Turtle Grow. Yes, that's so awesome, guys. I can't wait to see it. So when you take a picture of yourself with your painting, do one of these. Okay? I don't want to just see your painting. I want to see your beautiful face too. And make sure you tag me. You got to tag me to make sure that I see it. And a great way to do it is either in your Instagram stories, your Facebook stories, on your Facebook page. If you can share this post, I'm so, so very grateful. And I'm really, really grateful for you to show up here today and paint with me too. So, oh, yay! You love your painting too? You are welcome. Thanks, Joanne. I'm really glad. I honestly can't wait to see them. I'm really, really excited. So I'll also let you guys know. We have another free paint party on Thursday, just like this one, right on Facebook. We're painting a pumpkin. It's called The Last Pumpkin because it's the last pumpkin I'm painting this year. There's a lot of pumpkins during this season, and I love painting pumpkins, but it's going to be the last one. And then on October 30th, it's a Friday, the night before Halloween, we're going to have a Halloween paint party. So it's only $5 to join. You get a private Zoom link, and we're going to be doing a cat here. Hold on, I'll grab it. I think I got it right here. Where's my cat? There he is. So this is the painting we're doing on the 30th. You get a lot of really good practice with this spider. This is what we're going to do together on October 30th, and it's only a $5 class. So that's something that you might want to do for a Friday night party. Costumes are optional, okay? So if you want to get festive, we can actually see each other on the Zoom chat. So I can't wait to see what costumes you guys are wearing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but it's going to be fun. All right, thanks, Sparkles, and thanks, Joanne, and thanks, Jenny and Marlene. Yes. So get on that action and have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody. It was really great hanging out with you today. Cool, Susan. I'm glad you like the cat. Yeah. And if this is something you really like to do, I have a membership too. So most of my paint party classes are $15, but you can join my membership for $20 a month. And you get like lots of painting. So Thanks, Heather. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you showing up. Okay. I guess I'm going to let you go. I'm going to maybe do some more painting. I can't wait to see yours. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks. Azur. I love that name. Okay, let's see if I can find that link. I should be more prepared, shouldn't I? Probably. If you go to my events page on Facebook, you'll find the cat and the pumpkin event on there, and you'll be able to find the link to join in. Thanks, guys. Tara and Vanessa and Jesse and Tara and oh, the kids have fun. Thank you. And Steph and Heather. So happy, guys. Yeah, so any of the events that you could be interested in are on my Facebook page. You just have to click the event, and then there's usually a ticket link in there. If not, just message me and I'll send you the link, okay? Thanks, Nancy. Yay, I'm so glad that you showed up again. 3 in a row. Woo! You're killing it, girl. Okay. I'm going to let you guys go. I sincerely appreciate you, and I can't wait to see all your fun paintings. All right. Sending all the love. Don't click on those scam links. Scammers. Okay. Bye, friends.